ha ha! Do it! It is I, Plaid Palpatine, the next clone of the mighty Emperor, waiting to host the Force Ghost. Until then, it's practice, practice, practice my evil upon the universe. I also have a commemorative mini-me. Look how cute. Don't be jealous, Pika. Ha 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 ha! I have returned. I heard my name used yesterday on this very show. I had no choice but to come and give you Force Lightning. Bzz, bzz. Oh gosh, I can't keep the voice up. I'm so sorry. I'm bailing on the bit. Oh man. Hi. I'm fighting a cold. I'm sick. Well, hey everyone. I'm okay. It's just a head cold. I tested negative for the COVID on Friday. Vitamins. Vitamin C drink every day. What does this have to do with comic books? I have no idea. But it's Super Bowl Sunday. It's February the 12th, 2023. It's a beautiful day. And yeah, I'm just a little under the weather. And, but I'm so glad that you all showed up to talk comic books. We're using these two books this year. This show is dedicated to my parents this season. They got me these two books for Christmas. And we're using these two books to go through my comic book collection. I have, probably just like you, I've got several long boxes downstairs in my basement. My damp, moldy, dusty, dark, lonely basement. But what I'm doing is I'm going through my entire comic book collection, and I'm rebagging, reboarding, and reboxing my entire collection. Along that way, I am going to get a ballpark estimate of what my comic collection is worth. Don't you look at your comic books and be like, what is all this worth? And you know what? Along the way, I'm going to sell chunks of it. Apparently, the Batman, I have the entire Grant Morrison Batman run. First appearance, Damian Wayne. And I'm going to hold on to that until the movie comes out, at least. But, this is vitamin D. I get D. Hey, I'm feeling more of like, with alphabet letters. Oh boy, these puns. Where does he come up with? Pika, where do you come up with these? And you write them down on the show notes. So welcome to our coffee table. Pull up a chair. It's time to take a break. We meet here daily, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we talk about comic books for a couple of moments every day. We started this last year, and we just kept going and going and going. And we talk about comic books every day, just for a couple of minutes. It's great. We try to embrace and remember what's great and why we love this in the first place. And I excuse the quality of my voice. I'm fighting a head cold. I'm just grateful that it's not the coof, and there's no chest congestion and no fever. It's just stuffy head, sore throat, feeling miserable, aches and pains kind of stuff so far. But quite manageable. Got a lot of chicken soup. The Sultan of Soup has made a lot of chicken soup. It's out there on my channel. You can probably see it. Part of this the show's mission is to get us to go to our local comic book shop. That's actually what Sundays are about here as well. It's new release day. We go over the new releases that I picked up during the week. New release day for comic books is usually Wednesday. Well, DC Comics had to go and try to be different, and they insist that they release their titles on Tuesday, when in fact the comic book shop gets them like a week or more in advance. And I'm connected to a YouTube community of literal comic book creators and shop owners. And I know that, like, wow, you get these, wow, how long have you had this? And yeah, there's actually a black market for new releases too, I heard. There's like an honor among comic book shops, and some may not have honor. I have yet to meet one. I bet they're out there. It's in the probability amplitude, I swear. This is a short box. It's a cardboard box, and you keep your funny books in it. I have long boxes, but I'm putting them in the short boxes from now on. Why? I'm an old man now. Things are getting heavy. But I'm buying these at my local comic book shop. And I'm also buying bags. And what I should have been using the entire time, we're going to have a great model of this today, boards, acid-free boards. And instead of using my online supply chain, I go right to my local comic book shop and try to keep them in business. When they're gone, they're gone. Record stores, candy stores, toy stores, like the toy stores in the malls, they're gone too, huh? What happened to Borders Books? Remember Borders? And yeah, once these comic book shops are gone, they're gone. So let's try to keep them, alive and healthy for as long as we can. We've been going over some my Star Wars comic books today, yesterday. Today we're going to touch it a little briefly. Because we're going into more detail about it tomorrow, and because Star Wars is a big part of my growing up and a big part of my life, and my room is filled with lightsabers, and actually a lot of Star Wars stuff that's not in the frame. But first, we're going to get to the new releases, and it's going to be very quick, I guarantee you. But firstly, I'd like to say that this show, when it comes to grading and valuing our comic books, if you have any serious questions about the condition or value of your funny book, please go to your local comic book shop and talk to your the shop owner or the staff, and they can put you into the right, more professional place. This show is for entertainment purposes only. We're hanging out, having fun, talking about comic books. I thought it would be a great excuse to learn more about the condition of comic books. There are links in the description to these two publications where you can get your own copies and you can play along at home. And it gives us great examples of comics and what to look for. Like this is a 2.5. All right, this is going to be a good one today. We got a teared edge. We got ink smudges. We got pencil marks. I don't think today's comic is going to be all that. It's a 2.5. I think it's probably maybe, a 4.5. Where you have a chip. Look at those, a corner crease. We get brown stains, minor staple tears. Mine's are just like, oh, look, Roy Rogers comics. Hey, Roy Rogers. And, but yeah, and the comic book coffee table is where we congregate. Pull up a chair. Grab a cuppa. And let's talk funny books. I hope you're having an awesome day. I hope you're clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. True. Indeed. And what's in your cuppa? Let me know in the comment section or in the live chat. I'd like to know. It's also Super Bowl Sunday. Your cuppa could be a frosty mug of sudsy stuff that gives you a nice buzz. I, for one, am devastating today. I'm sick. Yeah, oh God, I got flattened by a cold. And so yeah, so Sunday is new release day here at the show. And filmed pre-recorded live before an audience of stuffed animals. Oh my God. Yeah, my friends here, and my friends there. True, we have this conversation and we talk about comic books. I've been empty-handed. I was empty-handed this week. I went to my local, which is in my village square, as opposed to your unlocal, Sully. No, well, I could have gone all the way to Arlington, but I wasn't feeling too well. Like, I've been fighting something all week, and it finally came to a head on Friday, and it just leveled me, and I stayed home. I made chicken soup. I made a big ass pot of chicken soup, and with big slurpy egg noodles, the dumpling style ones. Don't you want a cuppa? It's really good. I am called the Sultan of Soup for that very reason. This coffee table has always been where my friends would congregate. And it would always be Star Wars conversation going on. I can guarantee you that at the coffee table. Most of that time. There would be a stack of movies, a stack of music, and a stack of books. And most often a stack of comic books on that table too. Always trying to get each other to read stuff. And so that's the spirit of this show, is to turn each other on to the good stuff. I didn't, to say I walked away from the LCS empty-handed would be a little misleading. And, all right, let's just cough it up. There we go. Thor 313, cover date November 1981. Why? You know, little Eric here has a crush on these. The Columbia Bike ad, the contest. Yeah, and right here, see, there's the particulars. I got them for $5. So this is a. Let's look it up in the book. Let's refer the book. The book. I wonder if Thor's under M for Mighty Thor. Let's try that first. M L M N O P Q R S M I. At midnight, Mighty Atom. Mighty Comics, Mighty Thor, Mighty Midget. There was a Mighty Midget market in St. Peter's Parish, Dorchester, and that's where I had my first spinner rack. One of them that was down the street from my grandparents' house. I was allowed to walk the whole block and around the corner and cross the street. And I could go to the Mighty Midget market, which is right there. Yeah, it's true. Mighty Thor continues, and Thor God of Thunder. Oh. Okay. Maybe just Thor then. Well, continues in Thor, God of Thunder. Stand by. Okay. T. Thor. Journey into Mystery, number 1 through 125. Mighty Thor. And I hope you're clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. And sometimes you get clobbered by a head cold. And that happens. Let's see. 313. So yeah. Near mint. This could go for $6. And this is a really decent copy. I can see a ding right there in that corner. See that ding? Ding? I mean, it's a pretty decent it's a decent copy. I mean, usually, you know, these Bronze Age babies you can get for like 15. Now there was the issue after this that had the Spidey and These Amazing Friends ad, and that one went for $15. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna pass on that. I'm gonna see if I'll catch it again, because I'm gonna try to catch these as many as I can, but they can't be too expensive anymore, unless they're like. There's one issue with Star Wars, the issue of Star Wars with the Spidey and the Amazing Friends ad, that was in the same run, the same 4-month span. I need that one, so I'll pay $20 for that, of course. But that was this week's new release. Yeah, I didn't leave empty-handed. I think I would have felt bad. I came back 2 days in a row. I went on a Wednesday on new release day. They were already sold out. Only one title this week I was going to buy anyway. It was going to be Flash 792, which is part of the 1 Minute War mini event, written by Jeremy Adams, who will be moving on to Green Lantern. In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. And let those who worship evil's might beware our power, Green Lantern's light. And that's that. Yeah. For the spinner rack. And that's that. But we're having a bit of a Star Wars appreciation. And I did go down to I did find this. I found issue 0 of Star Wars Legacy. Now, we saw issue 1 of Star Wars. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. That needs its own space to breathe. I needed it to breathe. Oh, gosh. But look at the dings on this thing, man. I mean, this is how I found it downstairs in the long box. I've had it all this time. It's not been wrapped. It's not been boarded. But look at that spine. I mean, seriously. But the pages are in decent condition. The corners are crisp. The pages are good. I mean, we got a little bit of a bend right there, all right? I'm just being honest. I mean, but this was a 25-cent issue 0, okay? Issue 0s can either be like an info drop, or they can contain just a new tale set in the past that gives you the origin story and sets you up for whatever arc is coming up next. That's been my humble experience. I love talking about issues number 0. I want to talk about them more. I want to explore, what are they? When did they start? Who started it? I mean, I'm pretty sure it started in the early 1990s, and it wasn't DC Comics themselves that started it, but they're the ones that popularized it, especially with the 1994 zero-hour event, which every issue, line-wide, got this issue number 0 treatment of retelling the origin story and having a new tale smuggled in there to propel the series going forward. This one is more of the info drop kind of thing. This tells about Cade Skywalker, the descendant of Luke Skywalker, grandson. There's who's Cole Skywalker? Oh. Descendant of Anakin and Luke Skywalker, trained as a Jedi, has since turned his back on his legacy. Once apprentice to the pirate Rav, Cade found a home in the underworld of the galaxy, working as a bounty hunter and smuggler. Cade has dropped the name Skywalker. Not even his closest associates know he was a Jedi, because this is set 100 years after the Battle of Yavin. And there's a new empire and a new Sith Order, and there are Imperial Knights. And of course, you're abusing your magazine. It's losing its value for all this stuff, all your dirty, oily fingers. That's Darth Talon who's on the cover. All right, and that's Darth Krayt. I mean, and there are stormtroopers in the future too. So 100 years, and they kind of look very similar. I mean, the eyes are just a little different. I mean, I like the whole thing about narrowing the vision. Kind of like horse blinders, or your vision. That's all you're allowed to see through your point of view. I like that kind of subtext. But this is just all info drop. And this was a 25-cent issue, just meant to whet your appetite, to give you some more information about this upcoming publication. And if I had kept this in a bag and a board this entire time, if this was kept at a new comic, at near mint 9.2, issue number 0 would be worth $25. And its current condition here, I think it's about a 4.0. Maybe, I don't know. I would love to get this graded. So when it say hey, you got a smudge right there. I have a smudge. I can see that smudge. I don't think you can. It's a little drowned out with the light. But look at all those spine cracks. Ding, 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 ding. The dogs thinks it's supper time. All these Pavlov's dogs. But yeah, it was 25 cents. And now it's worth $25. If it was at a near mint at 9.2. Now at a 4.0, this issue 0 would be worth about $6. And that's great for a 25-cent issue. I mean, pretty cool. I mean, it'd be better if I could get a 6.0 out of this. That would be a 9. That would be $9. But, I mean, I can't even look at how much issue 1 costs today, because it's the first appearance of Cade Skywalker, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. And tomorrow is going to... I opened the show with an open mouth in a way. But since we're talking about Star Wars, we talk about books, and we talk about the stacks of books that are on our coffee table. But literally, these are the books I have on the coffee table. We got Frank Herbert's Dune. I've got Homer's The Iliad. This is my not my high school copy, but I read the Fitzgerald translation in high school, and it's my favorite. I've read Fiegels and Everyman, and the who's the other guy? It'll come back to me like at 3 a.m. But this is my favorite translation. It's very good, and thank you. The turkey's done. The complete works of Shakespeare. I mean, these are the books that are the literal books that surf our coffee table. And yeah, the novelizations of the 6 Star Wars movies, the 6 Lucas Star Wars movies, and the Revenge of the Sith. I'm actually reading Revenge of the Sith right now with Ginger Ninja, James Harris, who lives in Japan. He's an American cat. He's lived there for 20 years. He's a friend of mine I made over the internet. And so we're reading the audiobook. So I talked him into it because the Revenge of the Sith audiobook, the novelization, is just miles above what we got on film. And, the literal coffee table is out in the living room. We're here in our Boston studio, my room. Did you say that loud enough? You shoot from your bedroom, your neckbeard? Yeah. So fucking what? I also have the J.W. Rensler books, and there are 4 of them. I got them for a really decent price. Oh, they're wonderful. They're so chock full of information, and these are just nostalgic and just bring me back because I was a child then. I literally was a small child, a small person when these movies came out. So all the production photos, and everyone looks like my grandparents and my parents, and my uncle. I remember the world when it looked like that. And so these books are really great. So I am a pretty big Star Wars fan. And I hope you are too. I love Star Wars. I mean, it's probably why we're so angry, or some of us, at the current direction of Disney. Well, there's only so mad I can be, because it's bloody Disney. And they went and Disney-fied it. And, but for me, Star Wars is a long time ago in the galaxy, far, far away. Seriously, but yeah, no more. No, it's not about what shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's about, hey, we're getting back into our log boxes, and we are. Let's get this one for the camera. Look at this. My copy of Sith Boy Monthly. I read it for the articles, not for the tentacles. Do it. Plaid Palpatine. Yeah. What a dude. Made that during the waning days of the President number 45. And but yeah, that's. If I had only... I hate saying that. It's one of my... If I had only stayed in college. If I had only been a better person. If I had only gone to therapy. If I only started my gratitude lists at a long time ago. That's one of the ones. That's the only... Pretty much it. If only. So I'm not going to regret it. I'm just going to bag it. Board it. And we're going to see how much we can get for this eventually, and or see how much this is valued. But yeah, $25 for this 25-cent comic book. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. I am sick, and but we can still talk about comic books, and we're talking about comic books every day for the rest of the year. That's right, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Join us. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We talk about comic books daily. We also talk about cooking. We talk about gratitude and spirituality, and we try to keep it light here. So there's plenty of room for everyone here at our Comics Coffee Table. Thank you so very much. Namaste. Good luck. God bless. And we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.